Welcome to the arms of nature. This documentary will guide you through nature into the secrets of fly fishing. Like every story, this one begins by the river. Štěpán Dvořák will guide us through this wonderful sport that directly connects us with nature. Our location is the rivers and streams of the Czech Republic. Its diverse landscape is a natural treasure of Central Europe. The country is spread over an area bordered by mountains, which creates perfect conditions for the formation of beautiful rivers and nature around it. On its territory, there are several natural parks, which hide good conditions for the life of animals and especially fish. What can I say about fly fishing? It is a hunting method for catching fish. Its difficulty could be described as something between ballet, acrobatics, and tightrope walking, especially on mountain rivers. As you can see, it is evening time, and Štěpán is fishing with a dry fly. Dry fly is the most beautiful method of fly fishing, and also the most successful in the evening. A dry fly floats on the surface, which the fish collect. Our flies imitate real insects that land on the surface or hatch from it. At the moment, the fish are collecting caddisflies and small mayflies. As you can see, Štěpán repeatedly swings the rod and line. The point is that the fly floats. It must be dry. By swinging the fly in the air, we dry it and then place it naturally on the surface. It takes practice and practice. The fish are often very picky, and it is necessary to use the right fly, but its guidance on the surface must also be perfect. It must be like a real insect that is currently floating on the surface. Fly fishing is about concentration and good orientation in the environment. The success of the hunt is not always guaranteed, but even if the catch is not, the time spent in nature is just as valuable. But let's start from the beginning. If you think fly fishing is that easy, one swing of the rod and you have a fish. The opposite is true. The road to doing so is a long one. fish just caught is called asp fish. It is a predatory carp fish that lives mainly by catching small fish. But it does not disdain a nymph or a dry fly. In the shot, it is caught on a golden-headed nymph. Before we fully enter the world of hunting and nature, let's briefly review fly fishing equipment and flies. The fly fisherman's equipment is very minimalist. It consists of a rod with a simple, lightweight assembly. The second part of the equipment consists of boxes with flies. Hundreds of species of insects live in and around the river. For this reason, a fly fisherman needs a lot of flies that imitate these insects. As you can see, a lot of boxes too. Let's take a look at the basic types of flies that are essential for successful fly fishing. The first basic type of flies are dry flies. Dry flies imitate all insects floating on the surface, such as mayflies, spiders, mosquitoes, dragonflies, and caddisflies. Dry mayflies are basic flies. Instead of the classic wings made of flight feathers, the wings of these flies are made of duck CDC feathers, which create a perfect imprint on the surface and float very well. The caddisfly, made from the hollow hair of deer, is an indispensable fly if these insects are found on the river. It is the largest representative, and fishing with them is a great experience. The second group are nymphs. They imitate insects living underwater or on the bottom. They are often insect larvae that later turn into insects above the surface. These are the larvae of caddisflies, mayflies, stoneflies, various types of worms, and larvae of other types of beetles. The third group is lures. These imitate fast-moving living creatures such as small fish, small mammals, or amphibians. This method is very effective for catching predatory fish, especially trout. You can also use these flies for spinning. The last group are streamers. These flies often come in two sizes. The trout streamer is smaller, and the pike streamer is the largest. These flies imitate fish, small mammals such as mice, used for large predatory fish such as pike, zander, or catfish. Now we know the basic types of flies, but there are hundreds of types of flies and their variations. It is almost impossible to cover them all, but it is important to know that most fly patterns are based on real living insects. Their knowledge and occurrence in a given river increases the chance of a good catch. In the next chapter of our document, we will show you how to tie such flies, so you have something to look forward to. From the introduction, we are left with the last one. Let's talk about the basic fly fishing setup. The set consists of a light rod with different sensitivity, a reel with fly line, which carries a very light fishing line and flies. The strength of a fly line depends on the sensitivity of the rod. We have three basic types of lines: floating, intermediate, and sinking. Each has its own specific properties and uses. The last part of the setup is the fishing line, which is tied to the end of the fly line. The flies are then attached to the line. The fly rod assembly is light, elegant, and at the same time, completely simple. Today's rods are made of ultralight materials based on carbon fiber. Cork handles and light alloy reels make fly fishing a real fishing experience. Now we know the basics. Let's go fishing. Our first adventure begins with a trip to a mountain river. It is often a long walk through beautiful nature. Nothing is ever free in the mountains. This is doubly true in the rivers that originate here. Fishing in the mountains is a lot about walking, but the effort is really worth it. You could say that fishing, and especially fly fishing, requires a lot of movement. The river is beautiful and cuts sharply into the valley. The fish do not have it easy here. There is only a few hours of sunlight a day. This river is mainly home to brown trout. There are also perch, European chub, and common roach. Hunting in a mountain river is not easy. Rivers are often only accessible on foot, and it can be quite a long walk. The river terrain is starting to get complicated. We proceed step by step. We move deeper and deeper into the mountains upstream. The river is wilder, and the bow is even more beautiful. The energy that surrounds you gives you the strength to go further and further to know what is in front of you. It is a wonderful meditation, alone only with the life of the mountains. When we stop for a moment by the river, we discover that we are not alone there. Around mountain rivers you can meet this dancelfly. Their blue and gold color contrasts with the surrounding environment. The males are blue and the females are golden brown, less conspicuous. Dragonflies are flying around the shore. Their beauty will amaze you. They are predators that spend most of their lives in the water as larvae. When they become adults, the colors are like those of Picasso's paintings. A very common small bird living around water is a very skilled hunter. It is called the white wagtail. Its hunting skills in flight will absolutely amaze you. It has no problem catching, for example, an unpredictably flying dragonfly, as you can see in the pictures. A hunter caught by a hunter. Nature is beautiful, but harsh. Another amazing creature is the kingfisher. This small bird is a great hunter. It feeds mainly on fish. Its emerald colors are like those of tropical regions. However, it is a native species. Its territory can be several kilometers long, and so we can meet it flying past you several times during a long journey around the river. To meet an otter on a river means that there are plenty of fish in the river. The otter is a wonderful hunter. Fishermen do not like them because they are competition. Nevertheless, otters belong here. Their connection with the river is a true symbiosis. Fly fishing on mountain rivers is a real adventure. It is not easy at all and will test the skills and physical fitness of every fly fisherman. But the reward for the effort is really worth it. Still think fly fishing isn't a sport? It's hard work. We are about to cross into the heart of these mountains. To get there, we have to climb out of the valley and up a hill, then descend into another canyon where more exploration and wild trout hunting await us. When we got out and looked down into the river valley where we had been fishing a while ago, it was magical. Our journey through the mountain forests continues. The forest environment protects us from the hot sun and is absolutely amazing. Before we reach the next valley, let's say something about mountain fishing. What characterizes it? Now we will introduce the main species living in mountain rivers. In addition to brown trout, you can catch rainbow trout in the river, which fishermen release into the river. Rainbow trout is a great fighter when fighting. It often jumps above the surface when fighting. This trout was imported from America. It is a highly adaptive fish and is raised primarily for food. Rivers with more acidic water are suitable for brook trout. These fish are also not native and are being reintroduced into Czech waters by fishermen. Brook trout is also a great fighter. Its meat is more fatty and has a stronger flavor. It is found all over the world in a variety of forms. This fish is really beautiful. Another representative of the fish kingdom is grayling. Grayling is a beautiful fish. It is often found under the mountain range, where it finds more food. The most beautiful fishing for this fish is with a dry fly. The fish grows to 50 to 60 centimeters. That is why there is no video recording from a mountain river, where it is relatively rare. Other fish that migrate upstream are often predatory fish, such as pike and perch. In the Czech Republic, mountain rivers are also inhabited by chub, which can adapt to almost all aquatic environments. What mountain fishing offers cannot be described in words. It has to be experienced. Believe that the water element and the surroundings will completely draw you into the heart of things. All the sounds of water and birds will merge into one never-ending symphony. After a while, you will stop perceiving time, and minutes will become hours. It can be compared to meditation, and you will not want it to end. Time in nature gives you mental balance. The activity of fishing connects you to nature. Most creatures are hunters who are hunted by other hunters. Likewise, man is a hunter. You can find the connection with nature even when walking in the forest, but when hunting, it is much more intense. It is like a drug, and you have to come back again and again and again. Trout has very good meat. Although in this document, we mostly release fish with care. Still, fishing for food gives meaning to the sport. In modern times, fishermen often fish just for fun, which lacks the main meaning. Suffering fish without consumption makes no sense. It is necessary to find a balance between fun and consumption of fish. But that is a debate for a long time. The most common method of fishing in a mountain river is with lures or nymphs. Trout are very predatory fish and are easily provoked to bite. You can see how quickly the trout attacks the lure in both shots. It's in the order of seconds. We will show how trouts attack nymphs. They are predators. Their attacks are on the bait. They are very fast and aggressive. Here we see only small fish, but when you come across big ones, it is an adrenaline sport. If insects are swarming in the river, then it is possible to fish for trout with a dry fly, which is a royal discipline. Good places to fish are the ends or beginnings of pools. Much better are the rapids, where the fish feel safer from predators. Fishing here is more difficult, but the fish are more active. The fighting trout is a true acrobat. Which fishing method is more effective depends on the type of water, weather, time of day, and atmospheric pressure. It can happen that if the conditions are not right, the fish simply do not eat. At that moment, it is time to fully enjoy the surroundings that surround you. We must not forget that fish are living creatures, and we must respect them. Their life is as important as that of all living creatures on our planet. If they do not want to eat them, we feed them respectfully and as quickly as possible without using any tools. You have probably noticed that Stepan waits his hand every time he takes a fish. This is to damage the fish's protective layer as little as possible. This method minimizes any possible infection of the fish and its subsequent death. If the fish is not intended for food, it would be a needless death. As the most thinking creatures on the planet, we have the opportunity to have a certain fishing ethic. Most fly fishermen honor the unwritten rules. First rule: wet hands when catching fish. Second rule: respect for the life of the fish. A fish changes things. It is a living, sentient creature. Third rule: respect for the environment. We do not throw away waste and do not destroy the surrounding nature. Fourth rule: we do not catch where the fish reproduce. We leave them alone. Fifth rule: we do not catch in waterways. Fish crossings are not supposed to be traps, but a way to cross the water level for the possibility of reproduction or natural migration. There are many more rules, but it is up to each person how they approach life. Man is a part of nature and should have the utmost respect for it. Fishing routes often lead through farming landscapes. Life flows between hills and valleys. The landscape has its charm. There are no high mountains in the Czech Republic, but the landscape is still amazing. Now we have arrived at our second river, which has created a deep canyon in the landscape. It is after the rain and the water creates an amazing scenery again. A real wilderness awaits us below. The area is not inhabited. The wild nature offers a refuge not only for fish, but also for large mammals, such as wild boars, deer, or even wolves. All this makes this fishing an amazing adventure. Movement in these places is often possible only by water or on rocks. Now we descend into the canyon of a smaller river. Even though the river is smaller, the nature around it is much wilder than in the previous valley. Nature will completely surround you. Welcome into the wild. The nature in this canyon will amaze you. We are more than 10 kilometers from the nearest civilization. On both sides of the river are steep, rocky slopes. Dense forests soon cover the valley with shade. Everywhere the mountain herbs smell, and nothing else can be heard except the sounds of nature. After a 15 kilometers long journey through the canyon, you need to rest. The journey is difficult, but worth it. The river changes every kilometer. It smoothly transitions from pools to rapids to shallow sections. Sometimes it cuts deep into the rocks. The power of the water can be felt here at every step. Here we see the power of water, but also the power of the tree. The power of the tree roots is enormous. It is able to support even this trunk, over 20 meters high. Hopefully, it will last even after another big flood. During filming, we mostly catch smaller trout. The larger fish are active here, mainly at night. We have fish footage in almost every stream and pool. There are a lot of fish here, sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. Let's look at how the trout dances on the surface of the water during a fight. There must be respect for this. Trout attacks on baits are often so fast that our reactions are not enough. During the trip down the river, we catch trout almost everywhere, and sometimes it's quite fun. Sometimes a test of patience. After a tiring journey, we deserve a rest. The river and nature are so beautiful that we don't even want to go home, but it's time to go home. We leave the mountain environment and return to civilization. Mountain meadows and forests, nature accompanies us. The scent of flowers is intoxicating and does not want to let us go back. The first civilization we know is a mountain village with a small mountain stream. Here we catch one more trout and set off on a long journey back home. This fish is the last of our fly fishing adventure. We are back where the documentary began. The introduction becomes the end. We are at the end of the first episode of our documentary. We showed the basics of fly fishing, its advantages and disadvantages, the ethics that are the basis of this sport. We visited the amazing mountain environment where fly fishing begins for most fishermen. They seek adventure, hunting, and connect with nature. I hope you enjoyed the show, not only fishermen, but also nature lovers. You got a glimpse of what the spirit of fly fishing could be, but also an understanding of why fishermen keep coming back to the water. The next episode will follow. We say goodbye and look forward to another episode with a fly rod and wandering through nature. See you soon. In the next episode of our documentary, we will look at the basics of artificial fly tying. We will experience great hunt of diverse fishes and environments. We'll experience a little etymology. We'll look at insects that are found in water and are the main food of fish. There will be a look at fly fishing techniques in all types of waters and much more adventure. Don't miss another breathtaking spectacle into the world of fly fishing. We must not forget the breathtaking scenery and nature that will accompany this entire documentary. Our adventure continues. See you in the next episode. It's going to be a ride.